in and soothe your back. It just makes things right. Sometimes you don't need God to really speak, but if you just knew that he was in the presence of you, it makes it right. It makes it right. It makes it right. And so my thing is that you got to understand that God is with you. Even while you're walking through this healing process, don't let people discourage you from giving your testimonies. You know, don't let them, because you know why? Because sometimes you have to understand, because you are bold to give your testimony and you have no shame, you know, in your testimony. And the thing is that sometimes people look at you and they feeling like, well, you shouldn't tell this, you shouldn't do that. The only reason why they say it because maybe half the time they've been through it, what you've been through. And it just kind of remind them. So what you need to do is just stand there and say, God, as I give this testimony, and whatever my testimony is, God, I pray for those who have experienced the things that I have experienced, that as I tell this testimony, that they will have a healing. Because see, you know, the enemy, even when you stand up there and you give in testimony, the enemy, he wants to come and he wants to say, oh, you didn't forgive. Oh, you still hurting after all these things have happened to you. But you gotta pray as you give your testimony, or pray before you give your testimony. Even pray after you give your testimony. Don't just give your testimony and don't pray, because see, the enemy is going to attack once you give your testimony. And then if you don't resist the enemy, all you're going to do is just keep, you know, and then the next you know, you'll be like, well, maybe I really didn't forgive. Maybe I thought I was healed, but I really ain't healed. No, you healed. No, you forgave. Because see, the thing is that you got to cover yourself. You got to cover yourself. Even when you testifying, cover yourself in prayer. Cover yourself in prayer, because the enemy is coming. Hello. I speak from experience. That the enemy will try to attack you and say, no, you really didn't forgive. No, evidently you still hurting. Evidently, you know, whatever. No. You have to understand that the enemy is going to attack, even when you give your testimony. That's just the way the enemy is. He just, you know, he doing whatever he can to discourage you from giving your testimony, and to make you feel that, you know, maybe nobody don't need to hear my testimony, or maybe it's, you know, it's too private, too painful, too whatever he want to say. No, not okay. Listen. The people that have made these bad choices and did whatever, were they ashamed? No, they were not ashamed. They were not ashamed of doing whatever they done. So why should I be ashamed because of what they done to me? Actually, when I tell my testimony, but I don't give names, I don't do whatever. But my thing is that what I'm saying is that the enemy wants you to feel a certain way, and you shouldn't feel a certain way. Because see, you know why? Because see, God loves you and he covers you. He covers you in his love. He covers you. He covers you with his arms wrapped around you. As you tell your testimony, God, wrap your arms around me. Because what I'm getting ready to say is going to deliver a lot of people. What I'm getting ready to say is going to set some people free. Because you know what? They've been walking in unforgiveness for years. And it's time to empty out that treasure box. It's time to empty out that treasure box. It's no need of holding on to something that you don't need no more. For what? It ain't bringing you no value. Holding on to hurt, you know, things people done to you, I don't care what it was, it ain't bringing no value. So if you're not going to bring no value, I don't have time to be sitting up here holding on to stuff that I can't even sell, okay? I can't even sell. I can't even sell this stuff. I can't sell unforgiveness. I can't sell, you know, these things that people have done to me. I can't sell it. For what? I can't even get no money out of it. So why am I holding on to it? Okay? I'm not going to hold on to something that don't bring value to my life. And unforgiveness does not bring value. You know, holding on to church hurt does not bring value. You know, holding on to people making bad choices does not bring value to me. So if it's not going to bring any value to me, why am I holding on to it? Am I holding on to it because it allows me to have that security blanket? You don't need that blanket. You don't need the blanket. You don't need the blanket. All you need is God to wrap you in his arms. You don't need that blanket that don't bring no value to nothing. I'm here to tell you, tell of your experiences. Don't sit here and let your experiences go to waste. You gone through too much not to tell somebody something of what God has done. He kept you. He loved on you. He forgave you. He allowed you to forgive others. He'll allow you to keep showing up in the places where there is pain and turmoil, and all they keep doing is trying to make you feel defeated. Tell of his goodness. He has kept you. Tell of his goodness. Because after all, that is what's going to draw others to him. It's telling of his goodness, his kindness, his mercy, his love. And you need to tell him that prayer works. You need to tell him that, there's times where I have prayed and I know it was nothing but God. That's why I say, take time in your life at times and say, you know what, God? I'm only going to take this between me and you. That's it.